everybody. Welcome, hello, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome, welcome. Hola a todo el mundo, bienvenidos. Espero que estén teniendo un buen día. Hello. How are you? Welcome. I didn't mean to do that. I don't mean to do that. Don't worry about it. I'm not growing in size. I'm not getting closer to the screen. I'm not coming to your house. Hi! Welcome, Ranker. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome. Elyssia, welcome and hello. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome. Nimby, welcome and hello. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome. Steak Bro, welcome and hello. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome. Thank you for being here for 6 months. I hope that you've been enjoying. I hope that you keep enjoying. Thank you. PLP, ever wrong guy. Or ever wrong guy, I assume is how it's supposed to be read. Welcome, hello, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome, and welcome to the channel. Welcome to the pit. I hope you enjoy your time here, if you are here. Lena, welcome, and hello, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome. Nirwanda, welcome, and hello, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome. Yeah, Steak Bro Gen 3 is the one gen that I've already done, so that one is not on the poll because there's no reason to do it again, unless my opinions have changed. But I doubt it. I doubt it. Rodrigo casi. Give me a sec. Rodrigo Saya. Welcome and hello, how are you doing? Bienvenido, ¿cómo estás? Espero que estés teniendo un buen día. Officer, did I say hello to Officer? Officer, welcome and hello, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome. Delvin, welcome and hello, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome. I think that's everyone. Logan, welcome and hello, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome. Leo, welcome and hello, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome. Ritish, welcome and hello, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome. Anna, welcome and hello, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome. Suseiki, welcome and hello, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome. Hi. So, you guys are asking what happens if we tie. If we tie, there's a problem, okay? If we tie, there's a problem because I'm only doing one gen for now. It takes me an age and a half to go through one because I'm a yapper. Once I start talking, once I start giving my opinions, there's no limit. There is no limit, okay? I decided that it had been way too long since I had done a tier list, since I had yapped to my heart's content about things that you cannot appreciate even though they are objectively correct opinions. But I still have fun anyways, and you have fun being wrong, telling me I'm wrong. Bookworm, welcome and hello, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome. Osis Fury, welcome and hello, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome. If we tie, just pick one from a random number generator. Oh yeah, if we tie between two of them, I could just put it on a coin and do a coin flip. That's a great idea, actually. That's a great idea. My apologies for being late. Was a bit busy with new stuff. Don't worry about it. Also, I'm going to take a gander and a guess, Anna, that you are who I know as Papyrus? Or you have been exactly with that name and that profile picture and I had forgotten because my memory is terrible. But I feel like you are someone that I've seen in this chat but with a different name. Shouldn't I prepare the cake? No, wait, I can go to your house if there's cake. What type of cake? What type of cake? Wait. We can talk this out. Poland is not that far away, right? From Argentina, it's not that far away. What is it? Like half an hour walk, Slither? It's fine. I can do that for cake. Mwahaha, Leo, the Pokemon fan is working today, so I will make a Pokemon tier list now. Wait, since when are you a Pokemon fan? Since when? Every time we played Power World, you spent half the stream just complaining about Pokemon. Since when are you a fan? Oh no, a cute anime girl snake coming to my house to meet me in person? How awful. Truly a fate worse than death. I sure hope that never happens to me. Honestly, really, that would be so scary. Ooh, I hope it never happens. Ah, definitely something that I would not want. I might be the only one that likes Alola, but no biggie. It was not really it hasn't come up even on the Discord all that much. But hey, don't worry. Eventually we might do it in like 2030. Listen, I have to confess something that has me feeling quite guilty. When I wrote down in my little schedule, like, oh, I haven't done a tier list in a while. What could I tier list first? And then I thought, if I'm gonna tier list something and then maybe do other tier lists, I think I should start with Pokemon since we have so many to go and I only have done one. And it would be good if I do other tier lists to like sprinkle them in between Pokemon so I can get progress with that. Let me go get my tags and my description and my thumbnail and all of those YouTuber-y things. Let me get all of that from my previous tier listing of Pokemon. Oh my god! How has it been more than a year and a half? How? What do you mean I did this when I still had my old overlay? What do you mean it's been that long? So I'm feeling a little bit guilty about it. Just a tiny little bit guilty about the pacing of this Pokemon tier list. I'm not gonna lie. I did not realize it had gotten this bad. I hadn't realized that it had gotten this bad, guys. My memory sucks, okay? But, it happened, and we're here, and we're doing it. And hopefully, I'll remember about the existence of this series sooner this time. Here. I toast to that. Let's toast to that. If we tie you pig, nah, coin flip. Crumpets, welcome. Hello, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome. Hi. Yes, I am indeed Papyrus. I just lost that account because of the password that I forgot to save in a file. Hey, so I did recognize you. Nice. Ellie not even considering that it's a three-way tie. It's not. Don't do that to me. Do not do that to me. If it's that, I'll roll a fucking D6. Well, I like more Gen 2 than Gen 1. For me, it's stupid to try to do Gen 2 before Gen 1. Why? We've done Gen 3 already. We've done Gen 3. Yeah, they're basically next door neighbors. Yeah, that's what I thought. Now, let's give me the cake. Let's talk about that cake. Complaining is what fans do. I am the biggest Pokemon fan in the channel. What do you mean? I don't believe you. Leo complains so much about Pokemon, the same reason you're angry with Nikki. Nah, for real. Just because people like to complain about a game doesn't mean it's because we hate it. The way Leo talks about it, though. Bookworm, welcome. Hello, how are you doing? Hope you having a good day. Did I say that already? Did I welcome you to the channel? Also, I'm gonna get to the bottom of the chat real quick, guys, and so that we can get started, because I do see a winner. So, as soon as I get to the bottom of the chat, we get started, okay? We're gonna go fast now. I'm activating the speed. I love Pokemon, I hate Game Freak. It's not the same. Sorry, I misunderstood. Hamza Javid, welcome. Hello, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome. How are you? What she won't do to avoid doing the Skullgirls tier list. I still have to do one stream before that one in which I watch react to the stuff, to the art. Apparently an age and a half is equivalent to approximately 2 years. In internet time? That's an age and a half. In internet years? That's so long. Look at the good side, you still have the same model. Why don't you come to my house and, like, shoot me? That's the same thing! Ouch! Ah! Ouch! Damn! You did not come to play! Don't worry, I already expected you to not do it until Gen 10 gets released. That could be... I have no idea when that is. Power tier list is not going to happen. Power tier list is done. People asking Ellie for more tier lists, not knowing they're asking for pain. Yeah. That is what people are doing. They very well know. You very well know that you're gonna be mad at my opinions. You very well know. Roll a what? A D6. You know? A 6-sided die? D6? I'm gonna just watch for a bit because my throat feels like crap, actually. So if I'm silent, that's also that. And I also have a small headache. Question, because I've never considered this. Do you normally use speech to text? Because that's wild. Gonna go fast indeed. I am trying to go fast. Toasting the toast of the sandwich is a cantrip. You understand what a D6 is, even though some people didn't. You understand? Am I the only one in this group of Nico's family that has extensively played Pokemon? No, I'm pretty sure there's a few. Rancor, at the very least, sounds like he has a lot of Pokemon knowledge, like specific to someone who has played. People criticize something they love because of the love they have for it. I understand that. That's me with Nikki, but I just never got that impression from Leo specifically. Bottom of the chat. Yeah. Okay. Fun fact, for Ellie to reach the end of the chat, I actually played official VGC. I don't know what that is. A tier list of all the tier lists you have done? That would be wild to do when there's like so many tier lists. I don't feel like I've done enough tier lists for them to be funny. The more tier lists I do, the funnier it would be, but that's a very good idea. I want to do that one day. You didn't even read the full sentence. I read it inside my mind, but I need to go fast, so I'm reading the things inside my mind and only reading out loud what I'm gonna answer. We also have no idea when Gen 10 will be because they started deviating for the release schedule. Hey, that's good though. That's good. What is wild? What did I do to you? Nothing. The idea, my experience with live streams, like I could never imagine using speech to text to participate in a live stream. I guess it makes sense in a way, but to me the idea is wild. And I just extrapolated from your throat hurting like that idea. I'm not saying you do, but it was the first time you put that idea in my mind. Like you put that idea in my mind for the first time I ever considered it. You didn't say D6? I said D6! I totally said D6! Did I not? Did I not say D6? For real? VGC is an official Pokemon competitive format? Ah, no idea about it. I'm a competitive Pokemon player, know all abilities, nature distributions, items, mechanics, and meta teams. Holy shit. Okay, you are a fan. Damn. You are a fan. Ellie, imagine a gacha? No, I don't want to. I don't want to anymore. I don't want to. Alright. We got to the bottom of the chat. You said something else? You guys misunderstood. You guys misunderstood. I did not say something else. Gen 1 is winning. And I'm at the bottom of the chat. So we are doing Gen 1. I found only one tab. Shut up. I found only one tab. Sorry, only one tier list that had Gen 1. And it's this computer kind of graphics. I'm not the craziest about it. Is that supposed to be how they look? Because I genuinely don't quite like it. It is the one that I found. Sadly, I didn't find anything with like the drawn sprites. Pokemon first gen. Maybe like that, right? Maybe like that, but also it keeps throwing completely unrelated things when I search, like Hololive, Total Drama Island, Honda, What? K-pop group. Well, that does say the word gen, so it's it's understandable. But it's wild how many different things it's giving me that is not like related to what I'm searching. Is the Pokemon home graphics? It's really weird that it's only one available. There's not only one available because there's pages upon pages upon pages upon pages. The problem is finding the best one, and this is the one that I've managed to find in searching for pages. It's less endearing than the actual artwork and sprites. That's what I'm saying. Do you want the pixel and blue or red hue only? No, not really. But there is artwork of this Pokemon. What about the Gen 1 Pokemon Ruby one that's in the middle of the screen? Huh? Oh, that's, I'm gonna be honest, that's less endearing. That's even worse because it doesn't even have like, it has one color per sprite where I can't even judge the color palette. And I feel like the color palette is really important for me to judge. Alright, we're gonna go with this one then. It's the one that I found. You could find one with all the Pokemon and just go through Gen 1 Pokemon, but I don't know where that ends. Vorador, welcome and hello, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome. Okay, so if I find one that says like, no, these are starter. The other problem is that so many tier lists of the exact same thing are created. It's so difficult to find. That is the same thing. That's the same thing. There was a vote? Yes, there was. There was a vote. No biggie. What's the updated sprites anyway? Imagine having Golbat without a tongue. I don't know. Okay, so we're going with this one. If anybody finds a better version of the list, we can pull that one up for next stream, which is still going to be this one, obviously, because I'm not gonna go through all of this in one stream. We all know that. Kanto. My other problem is that I don't know. Oh, yes! Okay, this is significantly more enduring. We're going on with this one. That's better. That's so much better. Yes. I prefer this. This one is perfect. Yeah, I think this is the one. This is the one. Okay, so S tier is going to be perfect. Don't change a thing. Tier 2 is going to be wow. I really like it. Just one little tweak. Pokemon that I would do like tiniest little bit of changes, tiny changes, just to for them to be perfect. But like it's fantastic. That's good. Yeah, that's good. And then we're gonna go. Meh. I'll forget about it. I'll forget about it in like 2 minutes. And then the last tier, of course, is going to be why. Why? Do you hate me? Do you hate this Pokemon? My titles are long, but they are descriptive. I like my titles being descriptive. You know? I want you to know exactly why I'm putting them in a tier. That's the Gen 3 remake sprites. I like them. They have a vibe. They have a nice vibe. Gen 1 is what I grew up with, and it's the only Pokemon Gen as far as I'm concerned. Well, are you ready for me to destroy it? Are you ready to get mad at me for my opinions about it? If Ellie puts most of the bugs in the bottom tier, she's missy. Nah, I think I'm gonna like a lot of the bugs. That's good. Yeah, that's good. Sounds like it's not so good, but you don't want to say it. Well, it is the middle tier, you know? It's the middle tier. You know what, Ellie? I posted you a gallery of all the original Gen 1 concept arts reference drawing from Ken Sugimori. Where? Now? Today? Here? Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, let's check this out and maybe we'll use it as well. Maybe we'll use it as well. But at the same time, if I switch constantly, I'm gonna lose so much time. So I'm gonna maybe use it if I'm over the fence on one. The torches and pitchforks are ready. Awesome, let's go. Awesome, let's go. Fake gamer or real gamer will review the original Game Boy sprites. Nah, they have color palette issues. Are you ready for Ellie to struggle to understand that big is not equal to heavy? Oh yeah, that's gonna happen, for sure. For sure. Alright, so, first You cannot be serious, bro. You cannot be serious. Okay, first Pokemon Bulbasaur. I'm gonna say I hate this sprite. Absolutely hate the sprite. But I do know our boy. I do know our boy enough to not judge it by it. I have this as well. Although, to be fair, I prefer the colors in this one than the colors in this one. This one is like a little bit too blue. The green is a little bit too yellow. This one has a nice teal, which teal is a peak color. I'm gonna put him in like really good tier, but he's not perfect. You want a Pokemon that's perfect? You'll see me judging Pokemon that I consider perfect. You'll see me consider my baby girls and my baby boys. And I could tell you right now, some of them I'm already seeing. But I'm gonna go by order. We're gonna be ordered. Since when is teal a pink color peak? No, not like this. What do you mean? There have to be higher resolution sprites somewhere. I know. We were looking for a better. Okay, let me do one more Hail Mary. All Kanto region. Let's see what shows up if I Google that. If I search for that. If it even gives me anything. Maybe. This! Oh! No, wait. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is too many. And some of these I've already seen while searching for other... No. Fuck! Guys, Kanto just doesn't work. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, this is better. This is better. I just keep switching, I know, but I'm looking for the perfect tier list. I'm looking for the perfect tier list, and I think this one is better. This one still has very small sprites, but look at this boy. He looks so much better now. He looks so much better. He looks so much happy. Happy. Teal is between green and blue, yeah. Like the skin in this Bulbasaur. Do you see the skin color? That is teal. Pokemon fans do not appreciate the original sprites the way they should anyways. Gen 1 was made before the idea that Pokemon is purely for kids was something the designer designed around. And as much as I understand that, I prefer having the real colors to judge. And the first sprites were one color per Pokemon. We gotta do a separate tier list for each game, a red list and a blue list. Nah, we're not doing that. We are not doing that. Okay, the next one is, I already don't know the name. Okay, so the next one is this guy. If you guys expect me to know the names, sorry, that is not gonna happen. And I gotta say, people are gonna be disappointed at me for this, but I feel like Bulbasaur just gets worse as he advances. There's something so perfect about the first one. There's something so not perfect. I do wish there was a pink accent so that as the evolution line continues, that pink gets stronger and bigger. but like that it doesn't come out of the blue on the second stage. I do wish... Oh wait, I lost my names! I am resourceful. I am resourceful. And I'm not gonna type all of this again. And I'm not gonna lose my hard work of thinking of titles. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm willing to still consider this one as good as Bulbasaur. Although I already like him a little bit less, I feel like the leaves just break up the silhouette in a way that's kind of annoying. Like, not annoying, but less good than the first one. But the pink contrasts the amount that the design gains by adding pink. The design loses by breaking up the silhouette with the leaves in a way that I don't consider the best. Evisor. Guys, I'm not gonna name all of the Pokemon because I don't have the names here. Unless you wanna name them. In which case... He goes from happy to frustrated to angry. Yeah, I don't like that. Thanks, Dad. Welcome. Hello, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome. So, I do wish the leaves broke in a different way that doesn't mess up with the palette, with the silhouette all that much. And I'm gonna be honest. In this one, the leaves actually work with the silhouette a lot better. Because they fall down and they kind of hug the body. They fall down, they kind of hug the body. They don't generate these jutting shapes aside from the main form of the body. And I do prefer it. In this one, my problem is twofold. One, I think the new face, he is supposed to look more powerful. He's supposed to look more angry. He's supposed to look more dangerous. But he also looks more stupid. To me... When I look at the third one, no matter the art style, he just looks more fucking stupid. And I don't like that. I also don't like the flower having spots. I understand that the body used to have spots, so you move the spots to the flower. I don't get it. Why not keep the spots on the body and make the flower one color? Why not... In any case, make the spots on the flower the exact same color the spots used to be on the frog. I personally just don't appreciate it. Like, it's a lot of little things that I think could have gone so much better. Like, I don't like that there's a consistency with the skin having those marks. And then it's still consistent here, and then it completely disappears here. I don't like that the eye shape changes that much. The eye language changes that much. I just don't. So I'm gonna put this guy in here. I might change it later. As I go and I compare with other stuff, but he doesn't make me happy. He really doesn't make me happy. Original Pokerap cover when? Probably never. To be completely honest. Venusaur. Evisor Pokédex entry says that the bulb on its back grows larger. It loses the ability to stand on its hind legs. No sprite has him standing on his back legs. Is that something he's supposed to be able to do? Going from happy to annoyed to angry. Yeah, that checks out for a poisonous ivy frog. Yeah, that makes sense, right? The flower is based on a specific flower? Huh. I still don't like that they move the skin marks to the flower. I want that consistency. The spots are there because of the power poison typing, but the spots could still be on the skin. It's a flower toad, so I get you think it looks stupid. No, it looks stupid because of the eyes, not because it's a flower toad. I don't like how the eyes in the last version is like, ugh. I'm writing on chat the name of each Pokemon you'll showcase and how to read it. I know some of them, like Charmander I do know. It's a lot of the other ones that I don't. This year over here preempting all attempts to get her to say funny names. A lot of these I know. It's just all the other ones, I guess. Nummy Num Nums, welcome. Hello, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome. One Bulbasaur in red, blue, yellow had a standing sprite? Damn, I've never seen that. Never. The spots are on the skin, they just look smaller. No, they're not. They didn't move the marks from the body to the flower. Toads have spots on their body, and the flower in his back is also a spotted plant. But the last one doesn't have spots. Look, black spots, no spots. It has warts now, which I think also make it uglier. And it doesn't add to the idea of making him look more dangerous. He just looks uglier. So, will you rank the mega forms? I don't know. If they are in this thing, then yeah. But we spent so long trying to look for one decent tier list that, yeah, I'm not gonna look for any more. First form is the size of a moderately sized dog. The last one is the size of a small car. Yeah, and that also makes it a little bit... Is this official art or fan art? I think it's official. I don't know. Guys, you're trying to look for explanations that don't change the fact that the design is different. Venusaur is like 5 times bigger, so the sprite can't show properly the spots because they are smaller. I'll tell you what, someone designed this. So yes, it can show the sprites properly. If the design was accounted for the sprites to show the same way that they've been showing in the last 2 evolutions, they would show properly. Because that is a human made that decision. You're trying to apply real world logic to something that is a design in which everything was a conscious choice by a person who drew this. And I'm gonna let you know right now, justifications in world justification is not gonna run for me judging the design. Because also, it's a magic world where you can evolve creatures and change their entire anatomy. So, no real world logic counts here. This is a world where a whale can have eggs with a kitten. Okay? We've been through this. We have been through this. A whale can have an egg with a kitten. Logic doesn't count. A whale can what? Yeah, I remember. It may have been 2 years ago that I did Gen 3, but I remember. Is the old original Sugimoni artwork there exists remade artwork for the remakes? I swear I tried to find the list with the best sprites, but... Why are we trying to use realism where there exist lava snails that have the body temperature of the sun? That's what I'm saying! That's what I'm saying! Okay, so let's move on. I'm never gonna get anywhere like this. Charmander! Our pretty boy Charmander. I really like Charmander. I think he's very close to being here. So I'm gonna put him at the front. He's very close to being perfect. And I might move him to perfect later. I think the color palette is great. A very small color palette, just like very adjacent orange, yellow, warm colors. But the blue in the eyes, like, contrasts this very well. Blue, green? In this one it looks blue. In this one it looks kind of greenish. I like the blue more. I don't know which one is the official, but regardless of which one it is, it adds a little bit of coldness to that palette that was way too warm, way too hot, if you will, for obvious reasons. But it really helps. And I think the contrast is nice. I think the colors are nice. I think the shape is nice. Very recognizable. You know, the whole who's that Pokemon thing. There is no way you're gonna fail at Charmander. It's such a very special silhouette. I really like it. I might end up moving him to perfect. Because realistically, I don't know what I would change. Maybe I would change the snout shape a little bit. Just so that it's more consistent with the things that come later. Because later, he becomes a lot more square snouted. And I feel like the sprites make him very round in the head in general. And I think you can still have a very cute, very huggable, very friend-shaped design with the snout being a tiny little bit squarer. Like, you know, dogs, cats, they all have squarer... Deer, it's like you can have a little bit more square. That is the only thing though. So I may put him in perfect. Fun fact, the first gen designs weren't made with the idea of evolving in mind. They thought of that later and matched a bunch of them together based on fits close enough. That's so weird to me because these are clearly like this is clearly one thing just growing from the same concept. Like, that's clearly the same idea, but iterated on. So that's so weird. Does that apply to every single Pokemon? Including these ones? Some were created past that decision? Okay, so you're answering that question. Some of them definitely were created with evolution in mind, right? She's an artist, not a biologist? Yeah. That too. I'm judging them as an artist. I can guarantee you're trying to apply your design logic and justify you not liking the design to your standards. Well, yeah, obviously. Well, yeah. What else am I supposed to do? Go by vibes? I also do that. What else am I supposed to do? Go by skills and meta? I don't know shit about that. I'm judging them based on design concepts and art concepts. And my own taste based on their vibes. There are reverse designs and they look good, but I feel like if we're judging Gen 1, it makes more sense to look at the Gen 1 designs as much as possible. Are you saying this? Are you saying this? Or are you saying the other drawings that I never found? I would give him pink hair and a collar with a gem. Then that would just be a Charmander cosplaying me. I mean, I would love him, but... Why not round Charmander is supposed to be cute? That's what I'm saying. You can still be cute with a little bit of more of a square... like, cats and dogs have a little bit of a square snout. They're not perfectly round. Perfectly round is something like bunnies. And I think like it would add to the evolution being more consistent. That being said, time for my least favorite of this entire thing. I fucking hate the second version of Charmander. I actually fucking hate it. I hate it so much. I might move it down later. Not much changes, except it becomes a lot more red, while both the other evolutions are orange. And I don't understand the point of that. If you're going to make the last one orange like the first one, even less red than the first one, why the fuck did you make the second one that red? I don't like that. I also don't like that it has one horn where Charizard is going to have two horns. I would rather he has two little nubs instead of one long horn that then becomes two. Personally, I would have added two little nubs instead of one horn. I also really don't like the snout shape. Again, from this to this, it becomes too square too fast. Like, there should have been a middle ground. I insist, a more dog-shaped, cat-shaped kind of snout to aid in that transition. And also, the last one is gonna have wings. This first one could have a hint of that. A hint of the fact that there's going to be wings would have been, in my opinion, a little bit more beneficial. And hey, who knows? Maybe he does in this sprite. Maybe you don't see it all that well. Maybe he has wings, but it doesn't look like it. It certainly doesn't look like it. And also I have this, and clearly there are no wings in there. So I don't like it. I don't like the second stage. I really don't. Did I do this cosplay Pikachu? No. That being Charmander idea just put the thought of drawing every Pokemon cosplaying as you. Why would anyone want to do that? That sounds terrible. That sounds like a very long process for not that interesting of a result. That would be a Charmander cosplaying as me. A strict improvement. Oi! Oi! Do people not like Charmander? He's so cute! They're so cute! Minecraft cats are cute and those are rectangles? To my point. Absolutely! Charmeleon, Charmeleon, Charmander, Charmeleon. Charmeleon's a flaming teenager. Yeah, but it could have been better. It could have been better. I disagree with Charmander, but I know better than to argue with Ellie. Because you know I'm right. Because you know I'm right. Instead of explaining, I posted you a screenshot on Talk to Ellie. The one on the left is the refresh design, but again, I feel like if you are rating Gen 1, you want to look at Gen 1 art. Oh, I feel like neither of these are the ones that I was thinking of. I feel like those three drawings you just showed me, none of them are the ones that I was thinking about, which is really fun. I wish Charmeleon had some small wings to make Charizard more gradual. That's what I'm saying! That's what I'm saying! Fun fact, female Charizards were going to have one horn. Okay, so that would have been that would have made the transition a bit more gradual, and I would have appreciated that more. I just want a bit more consistency. You know? And I know it's already consistent, but there are some designs that I don't understand that I feel like a small tweak would have been better. I'll be honest, a lot of people in Pokemon fanbase would generally agree that middle form starters are usually not the best. Really? Okay. Many middle evolutions suffer from awkward teenage puberty. So you're not gonna get mad at me. You're not gonna get mad at me for that. Awesome Pro King, welcome and hello, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome. I just came here for the Pokemons. Well, you arrived early enough that I'm barely here. We finally have the big board. Charmander? Charizard! I forgot already. I've been saying Charmander this entire time and I already forgot. Charizard! So, this is where we go back up. Really back up. I can hear the gears in her brain. I'm trying, guys, but I don't know shit about Pokemon. I don't know Pokemon, guys. I don't know Pokemon. So, Charizard. I really like it. I really like it. And for what it is, listen, is it my favorite? No. You know that I gravitate towards cute and adorable designs. So, is it my heart's desire? No. Because he's big and threatening and dangerous. He's big and threatening and dangerous. But, is it objectively a fantastic design? Yes. Oh my god. You got the color palette that I mentioned earlier, you have the warm orange with yellow combo. You got a very nice, very adjacent color choices. You got a very identifiable shape, a very efficient shape, a shape that makes sense. The little horns on the back now don't look awkward because it's not one weird middle horn, but symmetrical horns. You got a very nice longer snout that actually, you know, feels right instead of whatever the fuck was going on in the second one. And the wings add more of that blue that present in the first version was present only in the eyes, and it keeps working to counteract that warm palette. I think it's great. I actually think it's fantastic, and I think it's doing everything it needs to do. In fact, I am gonna put it on perfect, even though, again, not my personal preference, but it's objectively just an amazing design. It does everything it's trying to do with no faults and absolutely no things that anyone could change and make it better. Now you're just baiting us to call you cute too. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Do I write how you say each one's name? Does it matter? I'm gonna talk about them for 5 minutes and then move on. Doesn't matter. Funny enough, the later gens, because they are 3D models on the science as such that there's details that you can't actually see from a front pic. Yeah, I do actually have to account for the back possibly having interesting stuff, but I guess not in these first few gens. Rule of Pokemon design is that first stage is cute, round eyes, second stage is angry eyes. Yeah, but sometimes it turns stupid. Half-form wings are gross though. I think you can make them not gross. I think you can make them not gross. Tyler, welcome and hello, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome, welcome, hi! A true early viewer knows that the true tier making starts about the 1 hour mark anyways. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is going so slow. Bulbasaur. Nope. Bulbasaur is the first one. Bubble Squirrel. Squirrel? Squirtle. Bubble Squirrel, Squirtle. Squirtle! Squirtle, I like Squirtle. But do I like him? Enough. The thing also, Elyssia, is that your pronunciation guide is not helping me. Because if I were to read what you're saying, I would say Squirtle. And that's not... It's Squirtle. It's not gonna like your pronunciation guide doesn't drive me to pronounce it correctly. Cute snake waiting for affirmation. Where? Huh? Where? I don't see it. 15 minutes, we got through 6 Pokemon, only 145 to go. Shut up! Maybe I'll get faster later. Maybe. Ah, yes, that shell creature is a squirrel. I mean, it's a turtle, but it's called squirrel. Squirtle. So, I like Squirtle, but I don't quite like it nearly as much as the other two in certain aspects. While the color palette works very well, and the concept is weird, but we'll leave that alone because it's Pokemon. They're supposed to be weird. If you look at the shape, it's kind of clunky. It's like, this one has a very specific shape. Very like, it's balanced, it's pointed, it's kind of like square. This one is just a very nice shape where there's a lot of empty space. This one doesn't have a lot of empty space. Like, it has no empty space, pretty much, in like, between. It's like a chunky silhouette. But it's a chunky silhouette that has a very nice pointed shape. This one is like, if you blocked it off and you just saw the silhouette, it's not all that... I don't know how to explain it. It's like not all that shapy. I don't know how to explain it. Like it's a lot of round shapes, but that intersect too early or in too big a portion to see the curves properly. Like, I just don't like it. I just don't like the silhouette. I don't like the red in the eyes. It doesn't match nicely to me, to the rest of the palette. I never understood the tail. The tail has a spiral. The tail has a spiral. But I don't understand what it's supposed to feel. I look at it and I'm like, okay. If I imagine squishing that tail, how is it supposed to feel like? I know how this tail is supposed to feel like. I know how this skin is supposed to feel like. I know how these leaves would probably feel like. I have no idea what the fuck I'm looking at with this spiral thing. Genix, welcome and hello, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome, welcome. I once did a schoolgirl design tier list and ended up taking 1 hour and a half. Yeah, it's gonna be a long one, but I'll try to go faster. I hate how I know the answer for most of your generic and simple questions, but I'm too busy with work to comment. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's a water drop? No water drop looks like that. What is the spiral? The spiral is the thing that I never liked and I don't like at all. It's an animal and has a curly, cute tail. What is there to understand? That it doesn't look like a curly tail. It doesn't. To me, it doesn't. It's like a lizard tail? No, this is a lizard tail. These are lizard tails. This is a weird thing that I don't understand. And don't get me started about how it evolves. I'm gonna put him in here. It's not bad. It's not bad. But I never liked it. I never liked that weird spiral tail thing. It's just a wavy watery drop. That's not what a drop looks like. I don't like it. And now we get to this dude. And this dude, I have a problem with immediately. War turtle. Again, lit. Sometimes just having the name would help more. Because if I had to read that as you're saying, léelo como si fuera en español. Yo leería eso, Wartortel. So it's not helpful. War Turtle was meant to evolve into a different Pokemon and Blastoise would be its own Pokemon? Oh! Okay, now my one complaint makes sense. Because my first complaint is always and forever, why the fuck is it purple? Why is it purple? The first one is blue, the second one is even more intense blue. Why is the middle purple? Like we had a light blue, we have a stronger blue. Purple, what? Why? Purple? Purple! I'm gonna say I do like it way more than Squirtle. Why? The silhouette is a lot more pointed, pronounced, intentional. You have the things in the head that add a lot to its silhouette. You have the tail, no longer feeling like a weird thing that I don't know how to describe. This feels like it's more like fish-like. Like it looks like it would be a thin... flexible thing, almost like a cape to me. How come nobody thought its tails looked like a squirrel tail? Because no one understands what the fuck it is. That's why a squirrel's tail is fluffy. This is not fluffy. It does not imply fluffiness at all. But yeah, I do like it significantly more. I think the red in the eyes, while still the same thing, right? It's the same color, supposedly. But because the eyes are smaller, it doesn't create that uncomfortable feeling that the first one created with that red. I think the silhouette is significantly improved. I think I like his stance. To be honest, I like his stance. Very good stance. And I like the new tail. Because I like the old tail so little. the new tail is definitely an improvement. I also feel like by making the head smaller and the body bigger, it just makes that tortoise shell feel better. It just feels better. It's supposed to be like shell protectiveness, right? It just feels like it works better now that it's bigger. It feels like the body is more protected in some way. Obviously, when you see turtles and tortoises, they can extend a lot more than you would think outside of that little shell. So I'm sure that this guy can also put his entire body inside of that shell. But I also feel like this guy has a better time doing so. I'm gonna put this one higher than the Squirtle. I like it more. Although, I will insist it should be blue. If it was blue, I think I would have to put him up here. I think I would have to. You know what? I'm going back here and I'm realizing one thing that also annoys me. It's solidifying my opinions, honestly. This goes from weird head protrusions, which are cute. Don't get me wrong, they're cute. They go from weird head protrusions to, oh, those are ears. They have space in them. To, oh, those are ears. They have cute pink in them. Why couldn't this have been pink from the get-go? That's a way to add pink to the palette. You could have made it pink. You could have made it pink. Maybe in this one it would have been a little bit more complicated. It would have not made the design as good. But it could have been pink from the get-go. And that would have added pink to this like, it dearly needed it. I'm pretty certain there's a lot of animals that have their tails curve on itself at the end. But it doesn't look like it's curling on itself. That's my problem. To me, it does not look like it's curling on itself. It would have to be drawn differently to look like that. To me. To me. His ears turn 90 degrees as he matures? Oh, I don't like the idea. I don't like the thought. Despite the cannons not making sense, it still looks cool. What, this one? Blastoise? I do think Blastoise is a good design. Why? Because, again, as you said, like, the cannons don't make sense. But, again, this is a universe where a whale can have a baby with a kitten. So, logic out the window. I do really like it. I like... And this is a weird thing. I like the way the body scales, the belly scales look. It's weird that I like it because it's completely inconsistent for no reason with the other ones. I feel like it would be improved by having the same pattern that the other ones did, where these ones have one line in the middle, one line in the middle, and then lines going towards it. I feel like this one probably would have looked better anyways if it had had that. But I think the colors work wonderfully. I think the bigger you make the shell in comparison to the body, the better the design works. Probably because the shell is supposed to be like the main point of the concept. I feel like when you give the shell, as the evolutions go higher and the shell gets more and more prominence, I feel like it makes more sense and it's more pleasant to look at. I just feel like I like it more. I also like how that body feels like it's almost armored by itself. Again, this is the third evolution. It's supposed to look threatening and dangerous and big and bad, you know? It looks, when you look at the arms and you look at the knees and you look at the, even the little tail, it almost feels like it's tough skin for some reason. Some reason being it's a good design, but you know, I really like it. And the cannons are badass. The cannons are badass. We have to admit that as well. He also looks big and dangerous, but he doesn't look overly aggressive. He doesn't look like he would attack you for no reason. He looks like he's gonna do what he's gonna do. I'm not gonna put him in the highest tier because, again, I wish the lines in the belly would have been similar to the other two for consistency. Not yet. At the time, you couldn't have kiss and whale eggs, but you can. But you can. Now you know that it would have been a different Pokemon. I do. Now I do know that. And I don't think it changes my opinion on it, though, because they managed to adapt it very well. I think they managed to adapt it very well. What do you mean it doesn't look like it's curling on itself? I don't think it looks like it's curling on itself. Blastoise's design was clearly influenced by Gamera. I don't know what Gamera is. You hate the cannons, but they're so cool. They're so neat. This is still one of my favorite starters. It's a really cool idea. I do think it's a really cool idea. I do also think maybe if it hadn't been cannons and it had been like a more biological way to explain the blast of water, maybe that would have felt better for whoever, not just you, but more people who might not like the cannons, despite the cannons, etc., etc. But I think the cannons themselves kind of work. And if you really think about it, it could be the same like shell-like material that the shell has, because the shell already has white present. It's the same white as the cannon white, so it could be that same material. He's intimidating. Exactly, he's intimidating, but he doesn't look like he's overly aggressive, and I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Just reminded me of a streamer whose parents successfully convinced them that Godzilla is a documentary. No way. No way! I mean, when they were kids, I assume. Chimera is a classic kaiju monster and generally the largest single competitor to Godzilla. Ah, I don't know much about that. I really don't know much about that. Alright, here's when I start struggling, guys. I'm gonna be completely honest. Here's where I start struggling. Because last time you all gave me so much shit for adding the tier. This is just an animal. But bro, this is just a caterpillar. This is just a caterpillar. It's even called caterpillar. Caterpie? Oh, caterpie, caterpie. It's a fucking caterpillar. Like, how am I supposed to judge a design that is not even designed? It's... I'm pretty sure I remember this right. Maybe I don't. But if I remember this right, there is a very specific caterpillar that looks exactly like this Pokemon. And that's the thing that makes me go like, what am I judging? Am I judging Mother Nature? Because like, you know? Now maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is not the one. Maybe this is that. Maybe I'm confused. But I know there's several fucking caterpillar Pokemon that are designed on actual caterpillars, and they look exactly like them. Okay, yeah, it's this one. This one is designed exactly like a fucking caterpillar that actually exists. And I'm like, what am I supposed to judge here? What am I supposed to judge here? Like, guys, that's the fucking caterpillar. It has the red things on the head. It has the markings on the side. It has the exact same green, the exact same red. The only thing Pokemon did was add yellow. And obviously the big cute eyes. But I struggle to judge these things. I struggle to judge the ones that are like basically just something that exists in real life. Google a picture of Gamera? Sure, I'm already Googling caterpillars. Why not? Chimera. Oh, yeah! I see how it influences, but it's definitely its own thing, I feel like. I feel like that's definitely its own thing. Like, it's not super similar. Well, only Pokemon are animals after all. I know! But when they're too similar, it's like, I don't know what am I judging. Every time I hear people disliking Blastoise, they state that Charizard is their favorite, which makes me laugh because those two are rivals in the anime, so it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It kind of makes sense, doesn't it? As Chibiskayan, I don't know how you pronounce that, which I assume is another creator. Normal animal plus fantastical element, early Pokemon. But there is no fantastical element. I think that's what kills me here. Like, it feels like I'm just judging a real insect. Just one is literally based in animals Japanese kids would capture and play with. Lots of Gen 1 Pokemon are just animals, but slightly different. Yeah, I know. Misty will never be forgiven for making Ash Caterpie cry. Aww. Why would you make him cry? He's a nice, cute little dude. Like, he's not the cutest bug, but he's also not the ugliest bug. And listen, okay, so... silhouette is good. It has plenty of empty space over here, and I like that. It has plenty of like little knobs here that add interest to this line. It has this big round bulb at the end of this, which adds a little bit of uniqueness. This thing speaking out easily could have been misplaced. The color palette works, but it's very middle of the road for me. Like, it's very middle of the road. I don't know how you can make it better. I just know that it's kind of boring. Right? It's just kind of boring, I feel like. Don't hate me for this. I just feel like it's kind of boring. Pokemon was designed specifically because the original creator wanted to make nostalgia trip for collecting bugs, which was quite popular in Japan. Yeah, I've seen it in so many anime. Even today it's referenced. I don't know if it's still popular, but I feel like it's still referenced. Mason Christian, welcome. Hello, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome. It's Caterpie, by the way. The way they pronounce it is Caterpie is kind of cute too. Okay, Caterpie. Misty doesn't like bugs, which I guess considering that in Japan and the Pokemon world this grows to the size of a cat is kind of fair. I don't know, I feel like kind of the size of a cat makes it more interesting to me. A little bit. Is it just a bug? It is just a bug. Yeah, it is just a bug. I'm sorry. It's just, I'm not gonna put it higher. It's boring. It's just a bug. I can't put it higher than that. Charmander equals lizard. Yeah, but with fire. Bulbasaur equals frog. Yeah, but with a plant attached to it. Squirtle is a turtle. Yeah, but it's a turtle that shoots water and stands on 2 legs. Like, those have a little twist, you know? But this one feels too much like just a bug. Same as this. If I'm not wrong, this is just a chrysalis. Like, you know, the thing goes into the chrysalis and then it turns into a butterfly. This is just a fucking chrysalis. It's one color, so the color palette can be kind of boring. I hate that it has the eyes under. Like, it's not under. I don't understand the shape. Metapod. Okay, cocoon. Chrysalis is the last stage after the cocoon. Sorry, my bad. Cocoon. So, it's just a cocoon. The shape is so difficult to understand because if you've never seen a cocoon, they tend to be like hanging or built stuck to a wall. So they are never horizontal. They tend to be vertical. It's not that they are never horizontal. They tend to be vertical. This one is presented horizontally, and I think even in this, yeah, it's presented horizontally, which makes it really confusing to me. I don't understand why it has these peaks here. Like, I understand wanting to give the silhouette more interest, make it more special, but I don't understand why make it more special meant make it a starfish at the tip. I never understood it, and I never liked it. Metapod is just a reverse moon. Yeah, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like the eyes. They look weird because Like, again, this is a cocoon, so the eyes are outside the cocoon. And I know, like, you're taking it too seriously. It's not a cocoon, it's just inspired by a cocoon. It's obviously gonna have eyes. I don't know, put him somewhere else. Put him somewhere. I don't know how I would fix this. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how I would fix this. But I know that I don't want this. That I don't like it. And that I would hate every second of having it. I'm gonna put it down. If I change it later, I change it later. But I'm gonna put it down because I fucking hate that thing. I don't understand. I don't understand it. It's too bad that you have to get through that to get to this, which I honestly really, really like. I really, really like this little guy. I don't think it's perfect. It's not on the highest tier. If I'm not wrong, this is a butter-free. Maybe? Maybe? Yeah, Butterfree! I got it right! Awesome! Awesome. We're gonna make an Ellie version of every single Pokemon she has reviewed. Who's on board to divide the workload? You really don't need to do that. You really don't need to do that. I didn't disagree with you. I was just saying that those are common household garden animals. Yeah, they are. It makes sense, right? It makes sense. It just makes it a little boring. It's very funny because this canonically can only harden as their only move. In gameplay, they didn't always work out. But yeah, lore as trainers and anime, these can't move. They can only get thick. So boring. So the pain of having to go through that to get to this. I would go through it, but I would hate every second, you know? I would actually hate every second. The greatest battle in Pokemon history is two Metapods trying to out-harden each other. The most boring battle in history. You're literally just standing there looking at two bugs, just not moving. So boring. So boring. Where's the tier? Not even her mother would love it. You had that tier for Pal World. Something would have to be so egregiously ugly for that. If something justifies that, I will add it. But I don't know if something will come up that is that bad. Butterfree was clearly inspired by the Godzillaverse. Kaiju Mothra, by the way. I'm going to Google that one as well. Mothra. My problem with that is that Mothra sounds like moth, and this doesn't look like moth. Okay, I see the resemblance with Mothra, but it doesn't look like a moth. I feel like I'm being falsely advertised to. Misled, if you will. ¡Manteca libre! ¡El manteca libre! Look up the pink Butterfree after you rank 'em. No, I wanna look it up now. Pink Butterfree. Is that canon? Is that a shiny? It's not that different. Honestly, it wouldn't improve my ranking all that much. It would not improve my ranking that much. Because here's my problem with this one. Here's the main thing that makes me not super like it. I kind of like it. I kind of do. But I feel like the colors are so all over the place. Like this blue with this teal turquoise. Just the turquoise is so bright that the first thing I end up looking at is not even the big red eyes. The big red eyes are supposed to catch my eye and to be the main center of attention. But the other turquoise kind of blue is too bright, too light, matches too horribly with that blue. So I end up just staring at its hands or at its feet or at its little mouth. I also feel like the mouth should be smaller because, again, it's demanding too much attention. The eye is being driven to those a little bit too fucking hard. I wish the mouth was a little bit smaller and a little bit lower. I wish the color, instead of being that bright, it was a little bit desaturated, or that the blue was a little bit darker and more saturated, so that there's some more, I don't know, not contrast, but balance in between those two colors. I think the red eyes are great, very bug-like, very in your face. but they don't get the chance to shine all that much. I also really wish the antenna were a little bit bigger. Just, again, to add a little bit more guidance to the eye. It feels like too many things are fighting for, like, attention. It feels like too many things are fighting for my attention. My eye doesn't know where to go. It's like constantly being called by this or that or this or that. Ta, 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 ta. It's not directed. And I think design-wise, if you make a design where your eyes can immediately know where to go, that's better. Case in point, this version is so much better. This version is so much better. Why? The color of the blue is significantly less distracting. It's a little more closer to the body, and so it's definitely different. Definitely different, but not different enough that you can't stop looking at it. I also feel like the mouth is lower, which is another thing that I wanted. It definitely feels like the mouth is lower in this one than in this one. Yeah, this one is significantly better than this one. But this is the official one, so I'm going to judge it by that, and I'm gonna say, like, it's between these two, to be honest. Because it's like, it's good in concept, but the execution, actually no, it has to go low, because the execution is fixable, so fixable. It's so fixable. I want to fix it. I want it to be fixed. I'm not gonna, because last time I did a Pokemon tier list, I said, oh yeah, it would be really cool to do a Pokemon drawing stream where I just grab the designs I didn't like and that I thought that I could improve, and I show you how I would improve them. Wouldn't that be fun, guys? Ha ha ha! Wouldn't that be great if I drew my version of the Pokemons with the improvements that I have in mind? And then I forgot about it. And I discovered that when I was looking for my own tags and description to make this stream. So I'm not gonna promise that anymore. I know myself better now. We know our dynamic better now. That's probably not gonna happen. I'll forget it. I'll forget about it. Okay, next, this little guy. Next, this buddy. Magikarp can only splash for a majority of time before it becomes Gyarados. Another one of those, oh my god, I can't believe I have to go through this, but I will. I will go through it and hate every second. It was intense though? Nah, how intense can it be? You're just looking at a bug not move. The bug types in Gen 1 are your early game gear. They evolve fast. You'd have your Butterfree within the first 20 minutes. Damn. Oh no, do they die that fast too? Oh no! Do they die that fast as well? Mothra is a moth, but it looks like a butterfly. Yeah, it doesn't look like a moth. It doesn't look like a moth. Mothra is a butterfly, not a moth. Huh? Then why is it called Mothra? Ash's Butterfree leaving was the first sad episode of the Pokemon anime. I haven't seen the Pokemon anime. That's the thing. I haven't seen it. Pink Butterfree is from the anime. It was the Butterfree Ash's butterfly left with. Aww! So it lives to be with a partner. That's cute. That's cute. I think it's a name that just got translated to English from a Japanese in an unfortunate way. Oh, that would explain it. That would explain it. The fire red leaf green sprites have some colors lightened, probably to deal with the DVA's lack of backlight. Yeah, are you saying that's the reason of the turquoise? You will be correct on that. A lot of early GBA games are light like that, and it gets super jarring with some SNES sports. I don't know if I should be judging it then. Judging it by that then. Elytix had a fly swatter? Nah. Not that bad. But I do wish it was different. Whittle? This is a Whittle? A Whittle buddy. A Whittle boy. He's just a Whittle boy. You didn't grow up watching Pokemon? No. I didn't. Sprites overall are fine? Okay, so I can't keep judging with them. Good. I wasn't going to do anything other than that anyways because it took so long to find this one, but good. This is a little guy. Such a little guy. I like him. He's not perfect. There's two main things I would change. I think the color palette is great. I think the silhouette is great. I think that sharp angle at the end gives it a lot of personality. I fucking hate the horn. Why the fuck does it have a cone on his head? It looks like the caricature of the kids in, you know, in cartoons where they get the dunce hat. The dunce hat and they get punished and go to the corner. Why does it look like that? I don't like it. I feel like if they wanted to give it a spike, I feel like there would have been other ways. Like maybe it could have had some sort of like spiky antenna. But I don't like the whittle needle. But it doesn't look like a needle. It looks like a cone. It looks like a cone. And I don't like that. It's a good observation and it fits because that thing sucks. That's it. Does it? I think the first art critique of my life I've ever gotten was some kid telling me that for Pokemon you can't draw dots for eyes, as opposed to humans, which famously have dots for eyes. This is dots. What was that guy talking about? Pokemon totally have dots for eyes. That's a dot. So I don't like the hat spike thing. I think if you wanted to add a spike, it should look more spike-like. It should be thinner, longer, more pointy, more like it's actually gonna poke you, not just barely bother you. This is going to like bother me. It's I'm not gonna cut skin. You know what I mean? If it's supposed to be a needle, it should be able to puncture my skin. But I don't feel like this is going to do that. It's just going to apply a little bit of pressure and bother me. I also don't quite like the nose thing. I wish it was anything other than a circle, because it's not a circle, I know it's an oval, but like it's giving clown nose. Clown nose. It's giving clown nose. It's giving it's just glued in. It's just like stuck to it. The nose is very boopable. I just wish it was a little bit more shaped than just an oval. I wish maybe there were some skin markings on the head directing to it so that it feels like it's more attached to the head. In JP, it's beetle, so not much difference. It comes from needle. And yet, it doesn't look like a needle. Ellie needs a tiny clown nose? No, I don't. No, I don't. My opinions are correct. My opinions are correct. It's because it's a poison type, so the needle is poisonous. Good luck getting the poison inside my body when the fucking cone cannot even puncture me. Like, that is a failure. This could puncture me. Do you see how pointy that is? Do you see how sharp that is? This, at the end, that's more sharp and pointed and puncturable. I don't like the cone in the head. I don't like the clown nose. I feel like a few tweaks could have and should have happened, but it's just a few. I feel like if you make the head needle a little bit more needly, if maybe you make it antenna. Imagine this. Okay, imagine this. Instead of that dunce cone, you add two little antennas here. Bam, bam. They're thinner than the cone. They're longer than the cone. And they look like they would puncture you. Instead of it being so big, this nose is a little bit smaller. And instead of it being a perfect oval, it's a little bit more shaped like it's coming out of the head. I know that this was like no gradient era. There is no smooth transition between areas. But like Wurmple? Do I have to Google that? You have to go with that. Elyssia smoked Whittle. Not everyone can be a winner. Not all of them can be winners. Reminds me of the Wriggler from the Super Mario games. Google image that. Wriggler, Super Mario. Oh, that's ugly. Oh. Am I gonna upset anyone by saying that's ugly? Because that's ugly. That's trying so hard to be a dog, but at the same time, nothing like a dog because it's supposed to be a caterpillar. Oof, that's ugly. A Gen 1 Kakuna sprite had no eyes and two protruding claws-looking things? Wait, is it here? Am I gonna judge it? Oh no, because you're saying one of the sprites of this one, Kakuna. I used to believe the red nose was the eye. Yeah, it's just a little bit non-matching. That's the first Pokemon I like from the ones shown, but I know him weird. I like it. It's one of those where it's a case of it's not bad, it's just a little bit boring. It's yet another cocoon. It's even called Kakuna. So it's another cocoon. It's another one color palette. It's just yellow. It has a little bit of black, but it's just yellow. Kakuna? Alright, Kakuna. Is there? Kakuna Matata! Kakuna Matata! Nothing can happen because I can't do shit because I'm literally just a cocoon. We must harden our business strategy to whittle out the competition. Oh, another fascinating Pokemon to watch fight, I'm sure. So yeah, I don't know that... I mean, this is better than the other one. Significantly better than the other one. Why? Because the shape at least is more interesting. You have this pointed end. You have an upstanding position. You have these plates everywhere that actually have their own volume and break up the silhouette a little bit. It makes it look a bit dangerous because it looks so sharp because there's all those pointed edges. And it looks kind of shiny. I don't know if it's the rendering or what. But in this one, it also looks kind of shiny. It also looks like there's some effort put into how the light is hitting it and bouncing off. I think the eye shape is fantastic for a bug. I think bugs tend to have this big black eyes, where this one has a human-looking eye with like an pupil and a cornea. Like, it has a cornea and a pupil, which is not very bug-like, but then you get to this and it's entirely black, and that's more bug-like. So I think it's a significant improvement on over the other one. It's just a little boring. It's just a little boring. Can you do much better with a cocoon as a concept? Probably not. It's probably as good as it can get with a cocoon. But it's just a little boring. You know? Like, maybe here's a very quick idea, something to try. How about some of these flakes? How about some of this, not flakes, but like... Oh, I don't have the word for it right now. Sorry, ESL is attacking real hard. Some of these... placas. You know? How about some of these were slightly different colors? Plates? Wait, that's the right word? Wait, for real? Like plates of armor. Yeah, okay. Okay, so I did get it right. So how about some of these plates were a slightly different color? How about some of these plates went from yellow to at the top to more brownish at the bottom? Not super brown, but just, you know, a little bit brownish. And then if you have the entire design divided in plates, how about each one of the plates gets a little bit more towards brown? And you create a gradient through slow variation in color. That would add a little bit of interest to the design. Also, how about some of these plates had different colored, like, marks? Maybe some black plates? Yeah, that's the other thing I was thinking. Like, imagine if this plate had a small square in the middle. Not square, rectangle. Imagine this plate was divided in 3, and the middle segment is shorter than the other 2, and it's black, like the eyes. And then this one also has a little bit moved to the back so that it's not one consistent line, but it also has a little black rectangle in the middle. Like, that would add a little bit of interest. I feel like that could be better, you know? Like, that could be better. Oh boy, it's a good thing streams go for 3.5 hours, else you wouldn't finish the list in 3 streams. Aren't we getting faster though? Aren't we getting a little bit faster? No? I know I don't want to see that because if it goes brown to the bottom, then it's poop. That's what cocoons look like when the animals poop inside. Oh, really? Well, maybe not brown, but maybe some more orangey color. You know, just add some color variation is what I'm talking about. Just a little bit of variation. It doesn't need to be brown. It can be more towards orange. Orange is a bit poop blood. Stop. Bit drill? Literally an aggressive man-sized bee with venom-laced drills for arms. Pretty terrifying. Pretty terrifying? Incredibly terrifying. I fucking hate this just in concept. But I'm gonna be fair and I'm gonna judge it by what it is. And what it is, you know, a pretty fucking solid design. Is it supposed to be scary? It is scary. Is it supposed to look threatening? It is threatening. Is it supposed to look dangerous? It fucking looks dangerous. It has 3 spikes and they are all sharp. They all look that they can puncture you. All of them. And I hate that, but it makes the design good because it's achieving what it needs to achieve. Even the head is sharp. The head is pointy. It's like, it's very effective. I do wish this is a sort of a art scene, and I don't understand how it happened. The antenna is ending exactly at the line of the wig, and that creates a very uncomfortable thing. But I'm gonna assume it's just like this one sprite. In here, it definitely looks like that's not the case, but this one also commits its own sin, which is the antenna is reaching exactly where the arm starts, so it creates this uncomfortable line. Overall, just people not really drawing this the best way, but that's a drawing issue, not a design issue. That's a drawing issue, not a design issue, so whatever. I feel like this is a perfect design for what it's trying to do. Everything is freaky. Even this, like, why are the legs like that? Why are the lines so crooked? I don't like it. It's terrifying. It is fucking terrifying. If anything, I wish the wings were bigger, because in this one, I feel like they're bigger proportionally to the body, and I feel like that makes more sense. I feel like the wings need to be bigger here. I also feel like the antenna could be bigger, and instead of pointing down, that the angle could be a sharp angle to, like, the side. You know, like here, bam, bam, and then bam, bam. Instead of going down, it could go up, and I feel like that would probably be better, but that one might be a hit or miss. If I see it, maybe I'm gonna go like, no, 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 it was better before. So it's one of those things where maybe I would actually have to try it out. I wish the wings were bigger. I wish the wings were pointier, like in the concept art. I think the wings being round is like a bit of a miss, and I think the proportions are off. I'm gonna put it in, no, I'm gonna put it really high though, because it is that good. It is really good. Oh my god. I looked down. I looked down. I shouldn't have looked down. You know how they tell you never look down? When you're in a high place, I look down. Oh god. Okay. I can do this. I can do this. This is a bird. This is a bird. Not much more. It's just a bird. You mean super effective, Ellie? What did I say? Did I not say that? Bees vomit honey. Honey is created by the second stomach of the bee. I didn't know they had two stomachs. Interesting. You can say this character design is super effective. What did I say? Want to see how they destroyed the design in the shiny version? Bee drill shiny. Is that fucking bee standing? Wait, do I have to change my thing? Is it standing? Does it stand? Does this design have wings just to fucking stand? That's probably not what you were commenting on, but that's upsetting me. Mega bee drill? Okay, I can't keep distracting me like that though. I'm distracting myself too much. I had once rescued a couple of wasps that fell in the honey and I was wondering what to do with the honey itself. Then I went, it was literally puked out by bees. It'll be fine. I'm surprised that you were rescuing wasps. Wasps are actually part of my list of kill it with fire. It's a very small list, but it's a passionate one. If I see a wasp and I have the option of killing it, I will kill it. I'm sorry. I will kill a wasp every time. I always like bee drill quite a bit and I wish it was more usable in games, but again, 10-1 single player early game gear. Bee drill is an equivalent of an iron sword, so there's only so much they can do gameplay-wise for it. I don't understand shit, guys, about the gameplay. One design at a time, you can do it! Except for that it's just an animal tier, it's a fucking bird! Pidgey is in fact a bird. A borb, even. It's not even a pigeon. Yeah, it's called Pidgey, but it's not even pigeon. I know quite a fair bit about pigeons. I love pigeons. This is not a fucking pigeon. It is a bird. It's a normal flying type, and only because they scrapped bird type development. Gen 1 had no shiny, so its shiny colors come from Gen 2, which my opinions on it will trigger a lot of people. I'm sure, but my opinions are also probably triggering a lot of people. Wasps are the scum of the earth. Thank you! Thank you for having such a correct opinion! We thank the Lamia Kingdom for probably not having humans on the kill on sight list. So Pidgey! 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 You know, there's one thing I don't like about Pidgeys, and that's the eyebrows. The eyebrows are so close to being good, but not quite there. I want the eyebrows to not start at the beak. That is all. I just want them to not start at the beak. Can they start a little bit further back, like at the eye? And maybe for silhouette impact, just like this, have them be longer. If the eyebrows were longer and they started at the eye instead of at the beak, I feel like that would be a very solid design. Those aren't eyebrows, those are facial feathers. Yeah, but it's eyebrows. Yeah, but it's eyebrows, you know? It's eyebrows. I like the design in general. I feel the color palette is great. I feel this extra little puffy chest makes it just a tiny little bit more special. I think the brown and the yellow is working fantastically together, and then the pink for an accent works really great, and then that little black is just, it's perfectly placed to not draw too much attention, but also give it a little bit of an impact and draw your eye to the eye, obviously. I think it's great in many senses. I just wish they had played with the silhouette a little bit more at the top. I wish the eyebrows were a little bit longer. Maybe this a little bit longer or pointed up or something. Maybe it wouldn't need it if the eyebrows were longer. And they started at the eye. That's my opinions on this one. I'm gonna put it here because it really is, well, no. Well, it's definitely better than those two. It's definitely better than those two. But it's not as good at that. It's not as good as that. So I guess it's gonna go to the very top tier here. But it could very well go here. We'll see. Maybe next time I'll change some opinions. Next! I'm not rushing, but I'm not rushing. You know what I mean? I'm not rushing, but I'm not rushing. Imagine getting stung. Yeah, that's why I killed him on sight. That's why wasps are killable instantly. No argument here. I've been stung so many times when I wasn't even bothering them. I hate them no more than they hate me. And that's my problem with wasps. You know? Bees are not that aggressive. They will only stung when threatened. But wasps? Wasps are bitches. They're jerks. Okay. Now. Pidgeotto. Pidgeotto? And then there's hornets. We don't want to talk about hornets. We don't want to talk about hornets, man. Risotto. Risotto. So, risotto gets red instead of pink in the color palette, which I think works a little bit worse than the pink did. It also gets a lot more yellow, I feel like, than the Pidgey did, or at least... No, it's not more yellow. It's just broken up in ways that it's a little bit more uncomfortable. I like the silhouette here, and I like that it adds a lot more shape. But, I wish, like, the tail remained brown instead of yellow. In the yellow stripes, I wish the feathers that are yellow were brown. I wish the feathers here also had some brown, even if it was just here at the beginning. It gives me too much rooster. For some reason, it just gives me rooster, and some reason being that it has all this red hair at the top. And I feel like it's counterproductive to the idea of the bird that we already had. I also feel like the wings should be bigger proportionally. Just in general, I feel like this one gets significantly worse than that one. So I'm gonna put it down here, because I think it's worse than the last one. It's just that simple. If this one is here, this one has to be here. Comparatively. It also lost that fluffiness in the chest, which I think was a very nice design. I also don't think the black accent in the face is as nice as it was before. I feel like completely disconnecting the yellow from the head, the yellow in the head from the yellow in the chest. I feel like that was a miss. Yeah, test in general, it's a miss for me. It's a worst option for me. According to my mom, the first piece of written prose I ever wrote started with Ash collapse under relentless Pidgeotto attacks. Wow. Wow. Aggressive. After this, we should get you one of the Gen 1 Pokemon puzzles to test your memory. I'll fail so bad. My memory is so bad. Wait, my memory is so bad. Bees die from singing, so you really gotta piss them off for them to sing? Yeah, but wasps just do it for fun. And that's awful. Bees and wasps were used as organic weapons in ancient Rome. They would release hives of them to flash enemies out of caves and mines they were using for an encampment. That is terrible, but you gotta admit, sounds effective. It was always weird to me that middle form is Pidgeotto, but final form is Pidgeot. That probably stems from the language the ot suffix comes from, but the longer name equals bigger in your mind. I guess that makes sense, but I think for me, Pidgeot sounds bigger than Pidgeotto. For me. Luis Francis, welcome. Hello, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome, welcome. I doubt the story went past that opening sentence, to be honest. It's a micro story. Do you need more than that? It's kinda there, isn't it? You said what you needed to say. Okay, see, this already gets immediately better. This already gets immediately better because the color palette is a little bit more balanced by the red not being as red. I feel like the red is a little bit more toned down, and if it isn't, it's because it's much less red. Therefore, the little there is feels less invading, feels less overwhelming. I also like the red tail more than the tail that was in several color strips. I feel like the same happens in here. I prefer this tail, which is one color, to this tail, which is two different colors. I prefer this one as well. And once more, I like that the yellow in the head and the chest is once more connected. I like that the shape of the black returned to embrace the cheek, where in the middle one is kind of like a weird shape that ends a little bit too high. I do miss the color of the beak and the legs being a little bit stronger. I feel like in this case it gets a little bit too lost, but I highly prefer it being too lost than too strong. I don't quite know how I feel about the yellow in the main feather, because it's like it's not present anywhere else. It's nowhere to be seen. And maybe it could have been used here in the tips of the wings. Like, the tips of the wings, maybe the inside feathers, like this little patch here. Maybe that could have been that yellow, just so that it's not only present in one part. I also feel like now it works better because it's so much longer than this did. This was giving rooster. This no longer has that overwhelming red. This was a cool kind of length, but this is exaggerated and it adds a lot more interest. So I feel like it's definitely better than this one. Therefore, it's gonna go higher. Do I put them both together? Are they at the same level? I think so. I think they're kind of at the same level. Apparently, bees don't normally die from stinging stuff. It's human skin, specifically a class around the skin, ripping it off for some reason. Yep. I think it's only humans and pigs. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe pigs also are not a problem. But yeah, bees don't necessarily die from stinging things. Only humans. Human skin. But it's still... I don't know if it is because of that, but they still have a less aggressive personality, I feel like, than wasps. Gonna send you something I think you'll appreciate after the stream. Sure. I like Pidgeot's long hair. Yeah, honestly, I think it's good. I think it adds a lot of interest. It adds a lot of uniqueness, you know? So, Ratata. I think. If it's not Ratata, ignore it. It's gotta be Ratata eventually. So, Ratata. I like Ratata. I don't love it, but I like it. Here, we see what an actual tail that is encircling itself looks like. This is what it's supposed to look like when a tail is curling in on itself. Not whatever the fuck Squirtle has going on. And I appreciate it for that. It's a purple rat. Yes, it is a purple rat. It's a weird case in which I don't have anything specific to say about it. Like, I don't know specifically why I don't like it more. I just don't. Maybe the contrast between the white and the purple is too big. Maybe that white should have a purple or pink undertone. Maybe the red is too strong. Maybe that red should be a little bit more desaturated. Maybe the ears should be bigger to create a bigger silhouette. You know, like an actual rat. Because I think one of the things that makes rats really cute is their big ears. And I think maybe these ones are too square and too small. Maybe it's the stupid spikes. Maybe the spikes could be shorter. A little bit shorter. So that they're not that distracting. They don't look that bad in the sprite though. They only look bad here. But in the sprite, they look fine. I don't really have many complaints. Like, I have some complaints, but it's the kind of complaints I'm not even sure about. I would have to see them to see what I think about them. Currently, it's like, I wish the white had a little bit of a purple undertone. I wish the ears were bigger and rounder, like a rat. Maybe not even rounder. Maybe not even rounder. Maybe it's fine that they're square, but if they were bigger, that would work better. Those are whiskers? No, they're not. Does that look like a whisker? It does not look like a whisker. And you know what? If it was a whisker, I think it could be cute if it had like a clear beginning here and it was the same color as the inner ear or very similar tones. I think that would be cute. I wish the red was a little bit more toned down. They're not whiskers. If they were whiskers, it would have an actual beginning in the skin. It would actually have a slight like line separating it. Whiskers, I don't know if you know this, are not the exact same material as your skin. Therefore, you can tell where a whisker begins and where skin ends. What about here? Where does the skin end and the whisker begin? Don't read as whiskers by me is different from yes they are. They're not designed to look like whiskers. If they are whiskers, they should be divided from the skin. Rats don't have the ears that big that you're thinking on. Is a mouse? Nah, I'm pretty sure rats have... Huh. Oh my god! I googled mouse and it just gives me computer mice. No! Mouse animal! Huh. Huh. Okay. Touche. You got me there. You certainly got me there. They're so cute though. They're still so cute. Alright, I still wish they were bigger for the silhouette, but I guess if it's, you know, being rat-like, I guess it makes sense. They're stickers like Elys? No, I don't have stickers. Well, I don't have stickers now. Wait until she learns about Gardevoir's dress. Haven't we talked about Gardevoir? What season is that? What gen is that? The plural is actually computer mouses. Regardless of what it was not what I was looking for. Okay, so Rattata, what do we feel about it? I wish I could see it with the changes. I wish I could see it with... I'm gonna put him in good. It's good. Don't get me wrong. It's good. It looks angry. It looks frantic. It looks like if you get too close, it's going to... Gen 3, so we did that already. We did that. So it looks angry. It looks frantic. It looks like if you get close enough, it will jump on you. It has a very strong vibe, like a very strong idea of what it is. I do wish the colors were all slightly off. I wish the color of the white, I wish the color of the red, I wish the color of the inside of the ear. I wish, you know what, if the ear is not gonna be bigger, I wish it was angled differently. There's something weird about the ear, and I don't know what it is. You know what? Wouldn't it be cute if the ear somehow, in some way, shape, or form, kind of imitated the tail, and it kind of went sort of into itself a little bit? I think Rattata cannot be any more than middle of the road because it's a lot of little tweaks. It's not just one tweak, it's a lot of little tweaks that I think would improve it. Rattata is the first gun Pokemon since it sounds like Ratata. Yeah, I get it. So this one, Potato Rat, I like that name. Javid or Hamza? I don't know. Which name do you prefer? Hamza or Javid? 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 I don't know. Tell me which one you prefer. And how to pronounce. Radicate. Hamza? Alright, I like Hamza's name more. Potato Rat. So, Potato Rat... I don't like. Like at all. I don't like it. It's so ugly. It's so ugly. It really does look like a potato. where Raditza looked frantic and agile, and if I get too close, it's going to jump on me. Potato Rat looks like I can outrun it. I can outrun it. How fast can this thing be? Really? How fast can that thing be? It can barely put its little front legs on the ground. Can barely reach. I don't know. I like the ears more. I definitely like the ears more. I feel like the color palette could use a little bit more contrast. I feel like the brown could be a little warmer, a little bit more intense, a little bit more saturated. I feel like the mouth is so weird. It barely reads like a mouth. It needs a snout. It needs a goddamn snout. The eye is not bad being black. It's a good color for the eye. But it's all in the wrong proportions. It's all in the wrong proportions. The tail also should be longer, curved to the other side to give the silhouette a little bit more interest. Like, there's so much that I would change here. First, make the tail do this swoop. Swoop like this, like an S. Make it a little bit longer. Second, give this body a bit more shape than just circle. Give it some shape. Give it a shape that isn't just potato. Third, make this brown a little bit warmer and a little bit stronger, more intense. Make this pink a little bit... Well, maybe with the other brown it would work perfect. Give it some sort of a snout. I don't care what sort of a snout. Anything would be an improvement over this hell mouth. Do we need the fucking teeth to be the exact same height? If you make the smaller one, the bottom one a little bit smaller, I think it would work better. Because it's too symmetrical. It's weird. I like the mustache. Whiskers. I like the whiskers. I like the ears. The eye would work better if we had a snout. A snout. Elia's never dealt with a mouse before? Lies! I have! It has a snout, but it's not colored. No, look at the shape! Look at the shape! Let me see here. This implies a bit more of a shape, to be honest. This does imply a bit more of a shape than this. This is a potato. This implies that there could be a square snout. I'll give it that. But I'm not judging the concept art. I'm judging the sprites. And in the sprites, it looks like it's a potato. It doesn't look like it has a snout. The latest redo of Redicate has the lower teeth smaller than the higher ones? That's what I said! That is what I... Didn't I say that? Didn't I just say that? That's what I said. So yeah, I'm going to judge it as Y. Just Y. Just Y. I want to change practically everything about this. So it's going to just Y. I want to change practically all of it. Alright, this one is a bird. Angry Bird, alright. Redo of Radicate was such a weird anime. yeah, it was particularly brutal and gory when Truck-kun did the isekai part. Sparrow. Alright, so Sparrow. Sparrow. Whatever. It's a bird. I don't like it. Here are my main issues with... I'm such a hater today. I'm sorry. I'm not such a hater. I'm being a hater only to some of the designs. Listen. I don't like it. First, I don't like how messy the head looks, but nothing else looks messy. Everything else has very clean shapes. It's a very clean circle. It's not super clean, but it's also not messy in the same way the head is. The tail is also not messy in the same way that the head is. I kind of wanted to have a consistency. Is it messy or is it clean? Is it messy or Or is it sharp, strong shapes? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know that I like this having lines, because that implies more of an armor, plate, exoskeleton thing. And this could have been messy, fluffy. You know, that could have been messy and fluffy like the head. That could have been that. I think the red-pink situation is too attention-grabbing. I think it's making the eye, like, go all over the place a little bit. This looks better. This looks better. You know why? I'll tell you right now why. Because the messiness of the head kind of matches the spikiness of the wings and the spikiness of the tail, which is something that doesn't happen here. The tail looks a little bit too orderly. The wings look a little bit too orderly in comparison to the head at the very least. And I don't get this. I don't get the lines. Why does it look like a carapace? Also, why is the body black if the rest of the colors of the feathers are brown and pink and white and black? It's like too many things. It's like it's doing too much. People are gonna hate me. But I don't like it at all. I really don't like it. I like Sparrow and its evolution because it brings in some of the weirdness of bird anatomy that the Pidgeys do not. But the Pidgey, I think, is a more clean design. Design-wise, just design-wise, I don't like it. Being pissed off is Sparrow's thing. It looks like rolling out of the bed in the morning, having a bad night of sleep and not brushing its hair is a Sparrow's thing. Don't worry, Ellie, I'm a hater of Gen 1-2. For me, the only likables are Kakuna and Raticate from all the ones you saw so far. You like the potato rat? You like the potato rat? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. First hot take of the day, I assume. But I really don't like that bird. Now, when we come over here, this is already significantly better. Why? Because, first of all, there is no exoskeleton. I'm not gonna try to say that. There's no exoskeleton here. It does look like feathers the entire way around. Same here. It looks like feathers the entire way around. It looks angry and threatening, which an evolution is meant to do, apparently. The beak, don't get close to me. Don't get close to me. I'm scared, you know? The talons, don't get close to me. I'm scared. I'm scared, and it's threatening. It's doing its thing. I don't like the mohawk. I don't like the mohawk pretty much at all. I feel like it could have been more interesting if it had done like this or like that, and it had done like more wider instead of just one line of mohawk feathers. And I don't understand this fluffiness. I don't understand the fluffiness on the back. Like, why is that fluffy? If this is feathers, it shouldn't look like fur, you know? I think it's definitely better than Sparrow, but I don't like it. I don't like it. In fact, it's making me doubt all of these. Maybe I hate it too. Maybe I hate it too. Do I hate it? Pharaoh should have gotten a third evolution replacing normal with dark. Maybe. You know what? I hate it. Sorry, I hate it. Where is the... How are we going from this to this? How are we going from fluffy head to completely smooth head, shaped head to a circle? How are we going from small body with no neck, head, body, no neck, to, oh yeah, now we have a long ass fucking neck. Very long. How? How? I don't like it. I don't vibe with that. Why are the wings pink here and there's no hint of pink in this one? Because we need a mohawk? sorry. I've become a hater, and I know this is not gonna be a popular take. I understand, but I don't like it. Can you put the link for that tier list on Discord, please, on wrap up? Yeah, I will. Pharaoh was one of my main carries in the first or second time I was playing Gen 1. But I'm not judging it for usableness. I'm judging it for design. You reached 27 Pokemon, Ellie. You did it. Did I? Did I? With the speed, it will be only 6 streams. Well, in the first stream, I always lose time with the poll and with looking for the right tier list. So at the very least, let's do a couple more. 47 minutes left. Yeah, I should be going, but at the very least, let's do a couple more. Because I don't want this to be an 8-stream series. Acans. There's not much to be said about Acans because it's a snake. It's a rattlesnake to be specific. You can look at it in the back. You see the rattle. I think the color palette works. There's very little that can go wrong in a tried and tested palette like purple and yellow. Purple and yellow is a tried and tested palette, and it works. It's always worked. It looks like a snake, which is what it's trying to be. I think the eyes look stupid. I do, because I think the slit should be bigger, more noticeable. The dark pupil should be... It's more than 1 pixel of a line. And I hate this line at the top of the head, but only because of how bulbous the head looks right after. If that shape did not correlate with that line, like if it was a more smooth growth of the head's height, or if it happened very far away from that line, I think I would prefer it. I also don't know if I like the concept art more with the rings or this one. I think either are fine. I honestly think either are fine. I think it's not a top tier design, but it's a solid design, you know? It's like a snake, but there are no purple snakes as far as I remember. So it's fantastical in that sense. By having the very straight ring, it's like a little bit also not super just an animal. The purple, the ring, the weird line in the head. Like, it's doing enough to be a fantasy animal instead of an animal. But it's, again, nothing super special. It's like, good. Sure, it's good. It's solid. You know, it's a solid design. It's good. You don't understand, Ellie. I'm always picking my teams by what I like. What, visually? Ew, the snake gross. Who the fuck likes snakes? Yeah, honestly, who likes snakes? Wow, who would like snakes? That's a weird taste to have. The face shape is weird. Also, read his name in reverse. Yeah, it's a snake. We've been through this. Aiken's a snake. We've been through this. This is not the first time I hear it. Did you know Aiken spelled backwards is Pokemon? You're so right. That is a new revelation. Wow, amazing fun fact, Logan. Amazing. The purple snakes could be a good band name, though. Yeah, I think so. Arbok, also read the name backwards. We've been through this. We've been through this. There seems to be a few purple snakes, actually. I never thought about that before. Pretty. It's just that purple and blue are such weird colors in nature. Normally, if an animal is purple or blue, except for birds, birds are really special about their coloration. But other animals tend to be purple or blue if they are highly toxic. There aren't too many purple animals in general. Yeah, purple and blue are weird pigments for animals. They tend to only happen where there's high levels of toxicity involved. Did you know that Akins is Elyssia spelled backwards? Oh my god, there's so many revelations happening today. We're learning so much, guys. We're learning so many fun facts. We're gonna be the life of the party next time we go to one. If that ever happens. Ever. Nobody tell her about Mook. I'm not reading that one backwards. I'm not reading that one backwards. No way. But yeah, I do agree with the face shape being weird. That's why I'm not gonna put it like anywhere other than middle of the line. It's like middle of the road. It's not great. It's not terrible. It's just mid, you know? Across all the Arbok sprites artwork, there's 6 variations of the face pattern, which matches with the Pokédex entry. Oh, there's variations on the face pattern? There is no face pattern. At least here, there's no face pattern. Ellie said pigment, but I straight up heard Pikmin. Well, but you got it from context, which is good. It's good. Oh my god, palindromes! Oh my god, palindromes! The face changes depending on the Arbok. Not 2 Arboks have the same face pattern. Also, the face swaps, clarifying their mood. But I don't see any pattern at all. I would be interested in seeing the patterns. Oh, unless you mean the chest thing. Unless you mean the chest, because it's different in this one than it is in this one. Oh. No, but you mean the chest thing. You don't mean the actual face. Because you say face and I think of the face of the snake, not the chest. All right, so what do I think about this one? I think it's, you know, again, it's a Cobra. We know it. We understand it. I feel like I like the shape of this tail better. Like the way it's creating a more interesting visual line. This one is like, I don't know. It could use movement a little better. And I have strong opinions on this. As you know, I've drawn many a snake tail. I've been drawing snake tails for long enough to think about the exact positioning and the line of action of the tail. I feel like this one could be a little bit better. And I feel like it's difficult to judge when I know that it's supposed to be different every time with the chest pattern. It's such a difficult thing to judge. Because I'm seeing one, but it's supposed to have several, right? It's supposed to have many different options. If anything, I'm gonna say I wish instead of hard black, we had a very dark purple to keep the palette a little bit more uniform. Black is technically not a color, so it technically doesn't impact the palette in that sense. But I feel like the black is too strong in the purple. I feel like the black is too strong in the purple. Like the red should be the exact same red as we have inside of the mouth, so that it's not drawing the attention too much, but at the same time, drawing the attention is what that shape is supposed to do. Like, going by nature, going by the idea of having body patterns that simulate faces, the entire point is that when you see the animal, you see that face first and foremost. So it makes sense. It makes sense. I just wish, for our sake, since this is a design, a human-made for human consumption, I wish it was dark purple instead of black. Personally, you can judge it, IMO. The player probably only ever saw this. Yeah, I think that the idea is fine. I think the idea is okay. I just wish it was dark purple instead of black. I wish the red was a bit toned down, like the red inside of the mouth. Goodbye, Research. Thank you so much for coming. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, night, evening, and that you sleep well. I hope that you sleep well. Don't worry, we're finishing after this one. We didn't get to any of my baby darlings, but next time I'm gonna be faster. Listen, next time is gonna be faster. We're not gonna spend time at the start trying to find a good tier list and voting and stuff. It's gonna be faster, promise. I'm gonna put you... I do feel like it's better than Ekan's, because I feel like it's more visually interesting. I feel like the whole face thing adds a little bit more impact and intent. I feel like the shape is super nice when you look at the pointiness of the head, where this one had a really weird bulbous forehead, and this one looks more sharp and, you know, strong. I can't put it on perfect because I do feel like it has things to do better. I think it has things that it can do better. I also wonder if a pattern in the tail would have benefited it. Even if it was just like some black in every other ring. Just some, you know? Yeah. Okay. I think we're gonna leave it here for today, so we can go do a little bit of a wrap-up. And next time we start with Pikachu. Strong. Wait. Next time we start with Pikachu. Isn't there supposed to be a little bitch behind him? Like, before him? Pikachu? Raichu? Isn't there supposed to be a little... pre-Pikachu? I was so sure there was a pre-Pikachu. That was Gen 2? Oh, I see. Damn, I really like Pichu. Damn, that's one of my babies. That's one of my little baby darlings. It would have been in that Kanto list that you just rejected. You had so many Pokemon. We have to go gen by gen. That's why I told you Gen 2 is a bad one. A lot of pre or post evolutions from Gen 1. But it's my baby. Some Pokemon get evolutions or pre-evolutions in later generations. I'm guessing. Or rather, I'm not guessing. You're telling me. I'm learning. That's why Elyssia said Gen 2 would be weird to do before Gen 1. Understandable. Now that I'm on it, I get it. And you have to go to sleep because you have barely slept yesterday due to your cats? Huh? What are you talking about? I don't have cats. Huh? What are you talking about? I'm allergic to cats. For now. I am on treatment for it, but for now I'm still allergic. Ellie adopted cats. This is news to me too. Don't worry, we're all learning about this. We are all surprised at this revelation that I apparently have cats. Let's go to the wrap up. I hope I can go faster like the chat. I hope I can go faster like the chat in the next installment. I'm sure eventually I'll get faster. It tends to happen that I adapt later, you know? It does tend to happen. This time I also got really distracted Googling, like, kaijus and stuff. Which next time we're not gonna do. We're gonna stay focused. We're gonna stay focused, baby! Oh boy, I've been so busy. Ellie probably already did Pikachu and I missed it. No, Pikachu's gonna be next time. Pikachu comes next time. Palindromes are great. Some of my favorite palindromic words are raider, level, race car, non, and non-anon. I like non-anon, but not the word. Akins and Arbok are Emordinolaps, words that can make a new one backwards, with Emordinolaps being palindrome backwards. But it's so much harder to say. It's so much harder to say than palindromes. To be honest, I'm not 100% what the purpose of the face is on the Predator. It looks cool, but it wouldn't really be functional. Yeah, now that you say it, it is supposed to be like a Predator, right? So what's the point? Huh. Huh. That's so weird. Why does it have a face? It is correct. Snakes have very subtle but specific proportions that are very important that the artist gets right. Or else it looks less like a snake and more like a worm. Yep. That's what I'm saying. I think the Ikan's tail is not quite as refined as... Sorry, the cobra? The cobra is not as refined as the icons? It seems that it's called hood and that is still the cobra neck. Well, yeah, it's the hood. It's the hood. It's the hood. Never looked like a face to me. What looks like a face in the animal kingdom is not necessarily like super face-like, but it has in general like 2 eyes, 1 mouth, maybe a nose kind of structure. Wait, allergies can be cured? Not every allergy, but yeah, allergies. What I'm doing is it's a thing that very slowly you expose yourself to your allergens. My allergies are cats and unfortunately ácaros, which I don't know how to say in English, but it's this little fucking pest that is everywhere and it's microscopic and you literally are surrounded by at every moment of your fucking life, which is why I used to say like, oh, I'm a very allergic person. Because yeah, if you're allergic to ácaros, those exist everywhere. So you're always going to be suffering from allergies. What they do is they make a vaccine. In my case, it's a spray vaccine that I just put on the bottom of my tongue. And they start you off with like a 1 in, I don't know, 100,000 proportion. You know? Mites? Alright, so mites allergy, apparently. So you start off with a very slow, very small proportion. You have like a thing, and for every 100,000, I don't know, milliliters, you get 1 milliliter. That's incredibly high numbers, but whatever. You get what I mean. Like proportionally, a 0.001, right? And then you give that a while of every day exposing yourself to it. And then you make the proportion bigger. And then you make the proportion bigger after a while. And then you make the proportion bigger after a while. And once you get to the biggest proportion that is recommended, so that your body learns to fight it without it affecting you, then you do that for a very long sustained amount of time. In my case, I'm on year 2, I think. And I think it's 3 to 5 years. I've already had fantastic results, by the way. I already feel like I use significantly less tissues. I hate my life significantly less. I wake up with terrible sneezing attacks and like, you know, allergic reactions significantly less. I feel like before this treatment, it used to happen at least once a week, and now it happens once every few months. Now I have been able to spend a day with cats without having to take an allergy pill. It doesn't happen every time. Some days I cannot handle being with a cat without needing a pill, but a lot of days I've been able to go to a place that has a cat, interact with the cat, touch it, and not explode, which is fantastic. So yeah, it's working. Gen 2 had god tier scrap designs, but really poor designs that made it into the actual game. I am not going to judge the scrap designs, am I? You guys want that? Raccoons are not rats. Yeah, raccoons are not cats. True. That's true. Gen 2 was about Pokemon breeding, so they put some baby Pokemons in there. That's so good! Oh my god, wait. That means Gen 2 might be my favorite. Because baby Pokemon tend to be adorable. You're allergic to cats and now you must go to sleep? What? Rancor, are you okay? Rancor, what's going on? The 100 Johto Pokemon are directly after these ones, so you could transition smoothly if you wanted. I probably will not want to. I probably will not want to. Share the link, please. Alright, let me get that. I'm gonna put it in the games channel on Discord. No, actually, I'm gonna put it on this chat right here. Why not? Gonna put it in this chat, I guess, also on the games channel on Discord. I guess that makes sense to have it in both. Talking about the design of the Pokemon and what inspired it is staying on topic. Yeah, but I also will take too long if I keep Googling stuff. I have to move on. I have to judge. I have to yap about the designs. I have to tier rank. Or else I'll never end. That Pikachu cliffhanger? Yeah, we're doing a... You know we're doing a Pikachu cliffhanger, baby. Nix, welcome and hello, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome, welcome. Predators can be prey too, Ellie. Yeah, but is this a prey? Is the Cobra a prey to anything? The face pattern is probably too flex. I like that headcanon. I do like that headcanon. Okay, now look at Mega Beedrill. I want to feel your hate. Okay. Mega Beedrill. Ooh. Ooh, why does it look like that? Why does it look like it's a McDonald's toy? Why does it look like it has stopped being an insect, but it's now a robot? That looks like a robot. That doesn't look like an animal. That doesn't look like it's a biological thing. Also, why the fuck is the spike in the bottom yellow instead of silver? Yeah, I don't like it. It became a Digimon? You're so right, it has Digimon vibes! It does, it so does! Just don't be allergic. My bad. I should have considered that. Yeah. I'm assuming it works with fork tongues. Yeah, of course, of course. I had the same allergy when I was a kid, but I grew out of it. Lucky you. Already? That's awesome to hear, Ellie. Yeah. I'm really happy with my treatment. New comic idea unlocked? What? I have no idea what it could even be. Is there a conspiracy or anything like the Illuminati for VTubers that makes all the VTubers have an illness? I feel like this is gonna be a hot take, but I feel like every single person has some underlying thing. Eventually. Some people may not have it from the get-go, like I've always been allergic, like since I was a child. But I'm pretty sure eventually everyone develops something. Be it migraines, tinnitus, maybe you have some teeth issues, maybe you have some skin rashes issues. I'm pretty sure I'm healthy. Don't you complain constantly that you don't have normal heat tolerance because you're hot anywhere and everywhere, even in winter? Isn't that like a special thing that not everyone has to deal with? That's not an illness. Yeah, but it's just because something isn't categorized as illness doesn't mean that it's still something that bothers you that not everyone has to deal with. Just like my allergies. It's something that bothers me that not everyone has to deal with. Lena has migraines, you're allergic. Lena has migraines, yeah. Yeah, she does. You absolutely should. I want to see what scrap designs you would have preferred had not been scrapped. Okay, but that should be like the end of it all. After all the designs, I feel like. For a good part of this explanation, I thought she was trying to cure her cat allergy instead of her allergy. No. Both, for sure. Dancy, welcome. Hello, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome. Interesting theme. I may check the VOD later. I hope you're not too mad at my opinions. Oh, hail yapping. The world is better with yapping. Well, Eberron guy, I lose control of my yapping very often. So, if you like yapping, hi, welcome. We need to do in-chat chatter versus chatter Pokemon battles? I don't understand your point. Logan used that joke on Ellie. It's not very effective. Ellie used rap on Logan. Logan doesn't seem to mind that much because he's kind of fucking weird. I would never call you kind of fucking weird. I would say, please be mindful of what dangerous situations you get in. Make It Be Drill looks like some kind of sci-fi body. It does. It looks sci-fi. It no longer looks biologic. Once we finish all the gens, we should throw you in the deep end of Pokemon with Run and Bun. The hell is Run and Bun? The hell is Run and Bun? I've never heard of it at all, whatsoever. Take that to Ellie as my tier list of what you have already rated. I'll take it later. Genetic skill issue? Yeah, I had genetic skill issue. Man, that sucks. I love cats, and it would suck not being able to even get close to them. I'm more of a dog girl anyways. Like, I will go crazy for dogs. I think cats are cute, don't get me wrong. I love dogs. And now I'm actually being able to actually enjoy touching a cat without exploding. So, you know, there's something. That is definitely something. Given enough time, every machine will develop a squeak, squeal, or rattle. Yeah! Yeah! When doctors saw me, they told me, well, it's not an illness since it's something that makes no harm, just let it be. Yeah, but doesn't it make harm? Doesn't it create problems for you? Doesn't it make you adjust your behavior and make you uncomfortable in situations that you shouldn't be? Perfect eyesight is probably not very common. That too. That too. I mean, for example, I have perfect eyesight. I have 20/20 eyesight, but I have in certain angles, it's noticeable, only in certain angles, a itty little bit of a deviation in one of my eyes. You wouldn't tell unless you're very specifically looking for it. But I feel like everyone has something. Maybe not illness or sickness, but instead health issue. Yeah, I feel like, and maybe this may be a hot take, but I feel like there is no person with perfect health. I feel like everyone has something, you know? I'm pretty sure everyone deals with allergies in some capacity, but yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't know about people who don't have strong allergies, because I've always been like, compared to my allergies, people normally don't tell me like, oh yeah, I had this allergy thing. It's because they know I know allergies. It's like no one tells me like, oh yeah, I had an allergy attack, and they're perfectly fine. I don't know. You're possibly healthy as long as you don't go to the doctor. That's not a healthy way to look at it. I don't think that's a very good way to look at it. Holy Ellie, you just labeled everything I have issues with. Plus, I don't know if I grew into them or just tanked them, but I have a few more allergies than I remember growing up. That's what I'm saying. Like, it happens. By the way, Nix, consider an allergist. My life has changed, honestly. My life really has changed when I started my allergy treatment. Call a spade for once? No, I'm not gonna call you freaking weird. Run and Bunny is a challenging Pokemon ROM hack. Lets you go with challenging. I haven't played Pokemon ever. Ever. And you think a challenging version of Pokemon would be good? Also, I don't like the idea of playing Pokemon because I'm scared of Nintendo. We all know how Nintendo be, especially with channels that have no means to defend themselves. So I don't like the idea of playing Pokemon. I know plenty of people do it. I know. But if anything happened to me, it would be devastating. So I don't want to even try to play the risk. Ellie can't play any Pokemon game because of her Argentinian debuff. That too. Deviation like astigmatism? No, I'm pretty sure astigmatism is like something that actually affects your vision. This is more like if I try to take a picture at certain specific angles, I look a little bit cross-eyed. But it only happens at very specific angles. And only if you're really paying attention. So like, it does not affect my vision at all. No es diferente de ser friolero o caluroso. Nosotros decimos... ¿cómo le decimos? ¿Friolento? Nosotros decimos friolento, no friolero. But I feel like it goes beyond that, though. Because you said that it's like your body doesn't behave like anyone else's that you know. Pretty sure perfect health would kill you. I don't think the body could handle it. That's like the opposite of the meaning of perfect health, officer. I may be wrong, but I think intolerances and allergies are kind of related, so Cramps is correct. Probably. I don't know. As we established at the beginning of the stream, I'm an artist, not a biologist. Everything that I'm saying are just hot takes and opinions based on nothingness. I don't want anyone to think that I believe I know what I'm talking about. Because I don't. These are all just baseless opinions. These are all just baseless opinions. If anyone is taking anything that I'm saying seriously, don't. It would be funny, but yeah, I totally get the fear on Nintendo. Nintendo scares me so much. It actually scares me so much. Wait, Ellie, did you watch the Pokemon Sleep World Tournament? No. I watched I mean, yeah? It's a video, right? Like the comedy video. I've seen it. Your own friendliness streams Pokemon? I know! And she's not scared. She's also streamed Zelda. She's not scared of Nintendo. I am. What was cross-eyed in Spanish? I don't know if it's in Spanish. I don't know if that's also how you call it in Spain. But it would be like... ¿Visca? ¿Un poco visca? Un poquito. Un poquitito. Use your Argentina trade to your advantage. Inform the post office that you're expecting an incredibly expensive package from Nintendo. They'll tax the C&D letter so hard that Nintendo will wipe their hands of the whole thing. If only. But the tax would be paid by me, bro. They would tax me for it, not them. I think you can safely play Pokemon if you make sure to do it legit and like not have porn playing on your overlay background or something. That sounds so incredibly specific. Who did that? Who did that? That sounds so specific. There's no way you made that up. There's no way you just made that up. To be specific, my surface temperature is average 4 degrees higher than the norm. My internal temperature is average for humans, and since my surface temperature is higher, that's why I feel always more heat than regular humans in the same conditions. Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, I don't think there's a single person that's perfectly like the perfect health thing. Again, this is entirely just baseless thoughts and opinions. I'm not a biologist. Pokemon Sleep Tournament, competitive snoozing? Yeah, there's a cute video about it. There's a cute, funny video about it. I don't know if it was an actual thing. I don't think it was an actual thing. There is an official Pokemon content guidelines for online streaming platforms. There is? Huh. Interesting. And allergies? Sounds like absolute hodgepodge doctors. Doctors aren't needed unless you're about to die, right? P.S. The last time I've seen a doctor was about 9-ish years ago. Nix, correct me if I'm wrong. Aren't you in South Africa? I don't know much about the medical system there, actually. It could be like the US where people avoid going to the doctor for all I know, but why would you avoid going to the doctor? I know, some people have fears about it. We've talked about it in the past, very recently. I I personally would encourage people to prevent instead of regret. You know, like, don't wait until you're dying when maybe you could have caught things earlier and not have to suffer. Como derpy? Yeah, kinda like that. Mucho menos que no se nota sin notificar. Exacto. Y solo a ciertos ángulos. Never mind my last comment. I think it's for a different thing. Aww. Dang it. That's the beauty of it. You reject the letter and have it sent back to them. I might not be entirely familiar with the Argentinian mail system. I can tell you're not. It was from the official Pokemon channel as a joke for April Fools. Okay, so there isn't an actual tournament. Yeah, I saw that video. I found it fun. You know, it was fun. There was a VTuber that did something really smart with Splatoon and green screen effects. Oh yeah, with Splatoon! I know, I remember about that one. I just didn't connect the dots because we were talking about Pokemon. But yeah, I know about that one. That was crazy, bro. That was so crazy. I hate that each time I look for the sleepboard tournament, I get a first result Chinese, Korean, and Japanese instead of Spanish. You watched it in Spanish? I think I watched it in English. It was fun. I liked it. I did like it. It was like, I wasn't like rolling on the floor laughing, but it was fun. Huh? I didn't hear about that. Who did what? So, Logan, someone, oh, English, yeah. Someone, a VTuber, this was a couple years back, a year back, did a Splatoon tournament, but they keyframed the color of the opposite team to be green screened out, and they put spicy, saucy, very much not stream allowed content in the layer under it. So if the enemy team gained too much territory and the enemy team color was being keyed out and you could see the layer below the color, you can see where this is going, right? You had a very big, she had a very big incentive to make her own team win. And she got clapped by so many brands so hard. I don't remember who clapped her first, if it was YouTube itself or Twitch, whatever, wherever she was streaming. I don't remember if it was Nintendo. I do remember she was penalized for sure. That's genius. It is genius, but it's also incredibly risky. Who did this? I need to look up footage. That sounds amazing. It does sound amazing. I don't know if the footage is still up because it did get quite punished. There's no real issue with the healthcare, but I have just tanked most issues I've ever had, including COVID. I would recommend you don't do that. You don't want to hit one that you actually really regret. 5D chess? That was 5D chess indeed, but it didn't protect her from being, you know, doing something that platforms don't like. If you can't play a Pokemon game, there's another game called... There's another game around called Pal World that is like 20% Pokemon, but better in every way. Don't worry, Pal World is probably gonna come back this year. I say probably because I don't want to make any more promises. I've made many promises that I was unable to keep before. So nowadays, I'm very, very hesitant with making promises. So I say probably instead. Pal World is probably coming back this year. And that's as far as I'm gonna go with that. But guys, that's the bottom of the chat. It has practically been 3 hours, and I think it's about time we go. I also am rating Yomi today because Yomi is doing the thing that I fucking love, which is when someone gets really into something and they stream, and even if I don't particularly know much about the thing, just by her being so passionate about it, I'm very interested. the title of her stream right now is Jam Games, Jam Games, Jam Games, Jam Games, Jam Games, Jam Games, which reminds me of my next fest streams. And I love that vibe. I love that vibe. So we're gonna go over there. Ellie the Promise Breaker. I try not to. I try not to. If I go out, it will be like a Victorian child or from doing something dumb. Yeah, like a Victorian child from preventable diseases. I don't want to be mean about this. I just want to really encourage you to take care of your health. I just want to like encourage you to be healthy. Prevent instead of regret is obvious and logical, but many times it's not really a question of logic. In my case, I live by that motto. I do everything I can to be like preventative. Next Best Fest is a much less popular event. I got my words mixed up. You're stopping the stream 30 minutes short? It's not 30 minutes short! My streams are not getting longer and longer. Are not. They're not. I'm going to leave now because I'm at the bottom of the chat. And thank you everyone so much for coming. I hope that you liked it. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that you had fun and that you didn't hate my opinions too much. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Don't forget to stretch. Don't forget to drink plenty of water. Try to eat nutritiously and try to sleep 7 to 9 hours. And most important of all, be kind to yourself and to others, okay? Take care, my snake shifters. Bye-bye! Thank you so much for the super chat, Lee. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It means the world to me. It really, really does. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, bye.